いっぺんこっち戻ってこい。お前思いっきりほっぺたつねくってみんなが放り込むで。What the fuck are you doing? Digging a hole. Why? Oi! Death aid! どっか行け. What? どっか行け.
What does that mean? Fuck off?
No, it means buzz off.
So it does mean fuck off?
Yes.
Well, you've got a very funny attitude, might I say, for someone who not 5 short minutes ago was trying to molest me on the sand dunes.
失礼な人.
More obscenities. Piss off, I presume.
No, I mean, you're a very rude girl.
Look, I'm sorry for being so rude to you in the sand dunes. I'm Sam.
I'm Junko.
What planet are you from, Junko?
Planet Earth.
Love, I got the right tool for that job.
What's this, National Wankers Day then?
No, it's National Mr. Big Willie Day.
Yeah, I noticed that protruding object on your forehead.
An object on my head. This is Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence, is it?
Why don't you fuck off in your little yellow dumper truck and use that small tool of yours to pick some rubbish up with? Go on, off you go.
I'm sorry, I can't be dealing with no nuns today.
That is your typical English man. Go and look up in the dictionary English man and it'll say, see wanker in the yellow truck. So, are you going to tell me why you're in this hole?
My father used to take a picture of me every day of my life. He's gonna put all the pictures up in a gallery. But instead of finishing his work, he left my mother for another woman. It was the 1000th day of my life. Because my father had this habit of numbering each photograph, I just knew it was the 1000th day. And on that day, he left us. Then my mother started a depression, but continued taking photos, convincing herself that my father will return. When I turned 6, she had in mind that he would come home on my 2000th day, and so on. Though he never came back, my mother never gave up on him. So I spent my whole childhood waiting for him. And by the time I was 20, I had enough being the living calendar of my mother's sorrow. So I left her.
So you came to England to find your father?
No, just to have a life. And things were great. I went to university, learned English. But more importantly, I completely cut myself off from my mother. She knew I was in England, but didn't know where I lived or anything. The last time I saw her was 7 years ago.
You did the right thing. Your mother sounds like a twisted bitch. But what about the other stuff? The mobile phones and you in the dunes. Did you have a nervous breakdown or something?
No. My mother died.
Sorry, Junko.
It's okay.
Did she die when the house was knocked down?
No, she had a heart attack. But I suddenly understood everything clearer. I thought she was crazy. But was she any more crazy than me? I spent 7 years hiding from her, 7 years killing her memory. And she spent 15 years keeping my father's memory alive. Who is more mad?
She didn't give you any choice. Let me put this hat on, you're going to burn.
Well, anyway, I don't know why, but I started to think more and more about the date. 1000, 2000, all that. My mother was convinced that everything happens in multiples of 1,000. But she was wrong. Because looking at my family history, I found a new interesting mathematical patterns that made sense. On day 10 of my life, an earthquake killed my grandparents. On day 100 of my life, the first man walked on the moon. And on day 1000, my father left. You see, it's amazing. Day 10, day 100, day 1000. That means something big will happen to me on day 10,000.
Bianca, that's just a funny coincidence.
Are you crazy? Don't you understand? Because it hit me like a bullet. My mother was not crazy. She knew the number meant something and she was right. But she was just afraid to work out. It has nothing to do with 1,000, but it was the decimal point thing.
A decimal point thing?
Yes, decimal point thing.
So something significant's going to happen on day 10,000?
Yes.
So what about day 100,000? Is that the same?
Oh, no. I'll be dead. I'll be 270 then.
So when's your 10,000th day then?
Today. Today is the 10,000th day of my life. This morning, I left the house full of confidence. It was the 10,000th day of my life, and something major was bound to happen. I wanted to tempt fate. The only things I wanted to control would be my death. If I were to die today, it would be my way. I ended up in a cafe. There, at the end of the table, someone had left a mobile phone. I answered it, thinking it must be relevant to my day. And there you are, shouting down the line.
Hello, Warren? Warren, this is Sam. I just want to say your dirty therapy screwed me right up. I don't ever want to see you again. In fact, if I see you in the street, I'm going to fucking well hide. Have you got that? Warren? Warren? Oh, fuck you.
So I bring you the phone, but you don't tell me who it belongs to. I know it's relevant to my life. It must be relevant to my life. And as you don't tell me, I decided to dig my hole in the sand.